Hi there. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. When we last left off, we were in the middle of everyone's favorite, the Dance of Deduction, with our good friend, Sherlock Holmes. Uh, I guess I did kind of stop in the middle. And what we need to figure out is, if it's not this lion, what was Mr. Garrett looking at? These are shells for the cannon, are they? What a strange place to keep them. I imagine they have some significance to Mr. Garrett from his time in the army, I mean. Ah, of course. He mentioned a battle to us before, didn't he? Do you remember? He said that he'd been shot in the knee. Perhaps it was one of these that hit him. Bro, if a fucking mortar shell hit his knee, like that size, he wouldn't even have a leg anymore, my guy. Yeah, exactly. If around that size it hit his knee, there'd be nothing left of it. Or Mr. Garrett, for that matter. Mr. Sholmes has a Persian slipper, and this man has spent shells. Perhaps it's customary in Britain to display, well, rubbish on the mantelpiece. Maybe. Then you have the lion statue. Well, this is the lion statue that Mr. Sholmes picked out. Yes, I wonder. Perhaps if you did live with a lion, it would prove to be a rather sweet companion. I mean, they are big cats, and cats are very cute, but I feel like a lion would be a little too much. I think that's like a mouse trying to tell its family that the cat around the house is sweet. Yeah, I suppose it is a bit of a flight of fancy, isn't it? Anyway, the beast we're looking for is something else. Let's have a good look around. Okay, then there's this, a photograph frame. That's not the first time that a photograph has come up in one of these dances of deductions. What's this photograph? It appears to be from Mr. Garrett's wedding, that he apparently wore his military uniform for some reason. He looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but you can't make out his bride. No, how unfortunate! Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face. I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply there. Then you have Mr. Garrett himself. This must have been when Mr. Garrett was still in the army. He seems to be carrying his rather stout bride effortlessly and beaming a smile at the same time. I suppose he was very strong in his younger years. Hard to imagine now. He's as thin as a rake. Well, yeah, injury and age comes for us all. The glass is broken, so you can't see the bride's face at all. Oh, but no amount of cracks could hide the woman's plump form. Dang, you don't got a fat shame, Ryunosuke. Come on, dude. I think powerful would be kinder than plump, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, she certainly looks that. There's a lot of horsepower there. Not someone you want to upset, that's for sure. Oh, look! Have you noticed her wedding ring? It's very large, isn't it? Also, how tiny is her hand? Jeez. Maybe it's like a perspective thing. Yes, that's an unusual design. It looks like some sort of embellished sunflower. Well, I'm pretty sure the beast isn't Mr. Garrett, unless he's a werewolf. So, I'm guessing it might be the newlywed bride.
Take that!
The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride. Sorry, gotta get back into vocal form. God, I start doing like vocal warm-ups before I start these episodes. Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. But you're the one who said it was a lion. I swear, I'm not sure if I should be, like, honored or, like, insulted with the fact that, like, he says some dumb shit. Then when I come in with my, like, correction, he's like, yeah, obviously, there's no other explanation that even begins to make sense. Like, bro, come on, man. I feel like that's, I know it's part of the, you know, the game, so to speak, but it makes you wonder if he's just playing dumb, or if he really is just that dumb and he just latches on to us, like, the second we say something smart. Yes, this framed print pictures your wife, Mr. Garrideb. Your wife, Mr. Garrideb, not his wife, who is also Mr. Garrideb. And, while we would lament the fact that her face is obscured... Well, I like how he just slid right in. We can still make out her mighty arms, and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. Bro, you stop making comments about her fucking weight? Jeez, pal. Indeed. Surely any woman of such a powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. Honor might be stretching a point. Too late. The fact remains that the beast, which so clearly savaged this room, was your wife, Mr. Garrideb. Yeah. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well, yet, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is displayed to me with one glance in your direction. It is. Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself. Well, I don't know about fragile. Oh, dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of a Mrs. Garrideb anywhere. But it seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garrideb's wife could be. Let's see. Hey, would you look at that? That looks like a wedding ring to me, pal. I'm curious, what is that in her pocket, though? I mean... That certainly does appear to be a circus handbill poking out from her pocket. Batty Circus, currently performing shows in a park not far from here. Huh, you don't think... Surely Mr. Garrideb didn't sell his wife to the circus! Okay, damn. Okay, Reno, okay, let's, you can kind of keep that... I'm glad you didn't say that one to where it, like, God and everyone could hear you. Mr. Naruhodo! How could you even think such a thing? That's like something Herlock would say. I was only joking. Besides, I would have gone with, do you think he fed her to his pet lion? Oh, Jesus. That's a little bit more morbid, Susato. Jesus. That's somehow worse. Yeah, honestly. So I know she have a circus handbill. Are they going to be going to the circus sometime? Two tightly shut eyes to avoid even the chance of a giveaway glance. Pursed lips to prevent any secrets from slipping out. Rounded cheeks to deflect any abuse that might be hurled her way. I'm pretty sure that's just part of her face. Yes, this is an unnervingly powerful woman, Mrs. Otto. Bro, she's like 4 feet tall, come on. It's your turn of phrase that's unnerving, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, perhaps so. Is it the teapot? Is the lion inside the teapot? What a charming little teapot. And it's in pristine condition. Joan has been pouring some deliciously fragrant tea from Mr. Garadeb, hasn't she? Well, more like pouring it on Mr. Garadeb, if we're being honest. Well, not so much for Mr. Garadeb as on Mr. Garadeb, wouldn't you say? Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't dream of drawing attention to it. Wait. Okay, well, I think we can kind of hazard a guess, considering we did examine it in closer detail. She's wearing a very large ring, look. Oh yes, a sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring finger of her left hand, which means, it's surely a wedding ring. Oh, I didn't know you wore wedding rings on your left hand. I mean, I've never been married, so I wouldn't know, but... It looks like it's on there for life, too. I can't imagine it would slide off a finger of that size. Oh, come on, Inosuke, Jesus. That's something to think, Mr. Naruhodo, not to say. Yeah, you tell him, Sadato. Do you know Mr. Garadeb's wife in the photograph had a ring very much like this one? It was a large sunflower design as well. Really? You have a great memory for these things. I mean, it was like 5 seconds ago. A large sunflower wedding ring. It's quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it? In fact, I think it's more than a coincidence.
Take that!
Take that, I say. Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Ah! Yeah, indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Garadeb's bride in this photographic print. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. No. You are Mr. Garadeb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garadeb herself. Yeah, I guess so. Whoa! Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmised, this is the wife, yes? My Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say, but she was a bally corker back. Are you guys you dudes okay? It seems like a little bit of a toxic relationship, if I might say. Really? A bally corker, man. I should bring that back. Like, hey, girl, you looking like a bally corker today. Ugh. It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. Ugh. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? Yeah, sounds right, I tell you. I was second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ. Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Well, geez, I don't have any maids. I guess I'm not worthy of English society. Though, in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly. You mean Mr. Garadeb had his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garadeb? Only in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret. The raging wife of Mr. Garadeb. Okay, well, I guess we know that to be the fact and now. I had kind of wondered since, normally, I feel like people don't normally refer to their maids on like a first name basis, maybe? That seems a little bit weird, but yeah. Plus also the fact that Herlock went on that whole thing about, how people use maids as like status symbols and stuff. Like, I guess that should have been kind of obvious, but nevertheless. Now, Mr. Garadeb. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed. In that blithe pose, there's... Well, yeah, we've already seen this. Or we've read this already. The pain you feel being revealed by the supporting arm. Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garadeb's wife a beast. Yes, as a woman that feels rather uncomfortable. But Mrs. Garadeb is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Oh, how true. So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garadeb's pain is tangible though. What could that pose of his really signify? Pipe? Wife? Wait a minute. Oh, okay. He's not even like supporting his arm on the chair. His elbow's not even touching the chair. Oh, wait a second. Oh. Huh. That's a bit strange. But before let's look at the pipe first. Maybe it's like Sigmund Freud says. Sometimes a pipe is just a pipe. That's a very large pipe, isn't it? Yes, anyone who has something that size hanging out of his or her mouth on a regular basis is sure to have a serious chin like Mr. Garadeb's. What's that white binding around it all about? Well, I wonder. Mr. Garadeb certainly looks glum. According to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, that's because he's having to endure the acute pain of losing something so dear to him. But we know that he hasn't lost his wife. It's right there. Right wife. So that means there must be another cause for the pain he's suffering. Yeah, and... Geez, there's like a whole ass palm print. Oh my! Look at that bright red mark! Gosh, that's quite something. Clearly made by someone's hand. Yes, Mr. Garadeb has been slapped on the face, it seems. Hard. I never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing? Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say. I didn't even notice her hitting him, though. Like, okay, maybe I should pay closer attention. I thought that was just his, like, generic shocked, animation. Ah, your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek. Jeez, that's a whole ass mark, man. And, of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade was you, Madam Joe Garadeb. Well, yes. Oh, wait, that's why we only see him... So he just always has that on his face? Because, like, we haven't seen him because we've only seen, like, the one side of his face so far? Is that it? You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir. Ah! See, I thought, like, that was just him, like, his damage animation whenever he, like, falls back. But, like, that's just on his face permanently? Like a scar? What? Jesus. How the blazes? How'd you work that out, man? Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. Yeah, I guess not. To keep your other side from view. Well, Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Garridev to fly into such a rage. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is a pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. I mean, bills will cause a lot of pain in general. Didn't Mr. Sholmes say that the bills were all for lion fodder? Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed, which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garrideb's wife. Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing. Well, yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact. Yeah, that's an extreme slap. Huh, yes. Why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? I'd love to know the answer to that question. Let's see, what are these bills for, I wonder? Looking at all these bills, it certainly amounts to a great deal of food. Meat and potatoes by the cartload, wasn't it? Well, looking at the two of them, you can tell immediately who eats the lion's share in this household. Well, at least we're no longer talking about an actual lion anymore. Let's see, there's some bird plates. Okay, there's a lot of things it could be. Let's look around. What are these books? There are a lot of books stacked up on the shelf here. Look, all novels that I've never heard of. It would appear that someone has purchased them all from a second-hand bookshop. I think Mr. Garridev is something of a book lover. Fair. Let's see, what about this bookmark? Ah, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here. Look! Mr. Garridev is clearly an avid reader. Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh. I don't think this is a bookmark. Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note, written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. And look next to the signature here. Lip marks, made with lipstick. Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture. Don't get any ideas, Suzato-san. Oh dear, I'm sorry. So this bookmark is actually a love note then, But also, James? Isn't his name John? John Garridev? Who the fuck is... Yeah, who's James? Wait, James? Let me just double check that. This card looks like it's being used as a bookmark. It's actually a love note. Yes, reading. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. What the... Bro, did they, Did someone swap a note from Silent Hill 2 with, the Great Ace Attorney? Mrs. Garrett's first name is Joan, isn't it? Yes, I believe we may be heading to some dangerous territory here. It's very conspicuous after all, isn't it? You mean the bright red lips next to the woman's signature? Yes, it's the first thing you notice, of course. And it rather makes your heart skip a beat. I mean, I guess it is romantic in one sense of the word. What about this broken plate, though? Oh dear. This plate has been smashed to pieces. And nobody seems inclined to tidy up the mess. Perhaps it's some sort of high art. Really, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, anyone who has a cannon on display in their living room is clearly a little, eccentric. Yes, let's call it eccentricity. I feel like this might be the issue. Yes, it is his love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Uh-oh. Joan ain't looking too happy. Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is the fly in the ointment here. Oh, Jesus. Calm down, lady. Okay, well, Come on. I don't know if that's exactly appropriate behavior, but I don't know the batting woman. You don't know her? That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. Yeah, his name isn't fucking James. He's John. It was just in there, you say? That's right. That's what I've been... A likely story. Now listen here, Joan, old thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book in that second-hand place, and that note must already have been in there. So, the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right. That's what I've been saying. A likely story. For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you've forgotten, is John. Okay, come on. A likely story. What do you mean a likely story? A likely story that his name isn't fucking John? A likely story? Are you questioning my name now? Good lord. And there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart, and you unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite. Ugh. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the cop. Wait, fuck, yeah, okay, we've seen this part. A expensive woolen carpet. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst, I wonder? Let's see. The wandering eye settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. What? But... well, surely Mr. Garrett didn't eat the carpet. No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is in is a result of her wild temper. No, that's true. So this is the last part of Sholmes' deduction that we need to fix. We need only to follow Mrs. Garrett's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer. Alright, let's see what we can see. Yeah, let's do it. See, there's cakes, a candelabra, or I guess a candlestick. Let's see. So many cakes. Is that all you can think about? Well, look at them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's a mountain of them, and they all look so delicious. Except for the ones that haven't been, like, half-eaten or whatever. It's more of a tower than a mountain, I'd say. It's a mountain, and it's my hope that one day, in our very homeland, I will be able to perform the tea ceremony at the foot of such a mountain. It's definitely a tower. Like, no, I'm sorry. It's a fucking tower. You're wrong, Susato. It's a fucking tower, not a mountain. Also, hey, look at that. A circus handbill. This is an advertising handbill for the circus. Batty's Circus. It's in a nearby park. Isn't this the same as the one we saw earlier? The one that was folded up in Mrs. Garrett's pocket. Perhaps they're very great circus lovers. It couldn't be that the Hungry Lion is somehow involved again here, could it? Oh dear. I do hope not. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the carpet. The carpet here has been ripped to shreds. Yes, and according to Mr. Sholmes' deductions, the tears match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly. Oh, look here. What is it? If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks. Oh yes, so you can. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all. Let's rethink this with that in mind. Well, in that case, it would have to be the candlestick, right?
Take that!
Because maybe she, like, slapped the candlestick along with the cakes, and then accidentally started a fire. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow. And of course, the only way possible out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Yeah, there's a candlestick right there. Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. The scorch marks? It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Mrs. Garrett's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused the candle to fall from the holder. Oh, I was looking at the wrong. And in seconds, the carpet was alight, and the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, for the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. And in that room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and run amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here. Yeah, fuck him up. After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was a scene of a fire. They say both of them, I guess. Oh, okay. Bro, you okay? Oh, okay, good. Oof. Damn. When your deduction is so good, you put their ass to sleep. Elementary, indeed. It sees dashed long with tonight, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material. For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems. Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And beast is most certainly an app. Oh god, I'm jumped out. Yeah, okay. Here we go again. And the carpet, was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor? Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the stick's rage and the raging flames. You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you, I guess. It didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The valley furniture started going up as well. Tried to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being. Over here, Mr. Garrett? Man, I hope we don't, like, pull the screen back and there's, like, a dead body. That would be an unfortunate twist. Yeah, well, you have nothing but to hide now, if you allow me. Oh, I see. Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Gosh. Then the wife started hurling things at me. What a terrible sight it must have been. Jeez, too bad they didn't fucking have divorce back in the 1890s or whatever. Because this seems like a bit of a toxic, abusive relationship. There was I, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books coming 10 to the dozen. Bro, Jesus, lady, you threw flaming books at your husband? Yikes. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite. A book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride. Ah, yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again. I assure you, the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's ferocious beast rampage. Mr. Sholmes' deductions turned out to be correct once again. I mean, after we totally corrected them, but I guess. It can only be described as a great British wonder. I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere, and the old stick in full fettle. Out of interest, what time of day was that? Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see. Around 5 o'clock, I think. So, at exactly the same time, as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below. Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The old Blighty could have been flying outside my window at that moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing. Oh, really? That's some good tea indeed. Well, that was not... Well, I guess that wasn't super useful to our case. Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. What can I do for you, Val? Well, I think we've got to get to the bottom. We've gotten to the bottom of Mr. Garradeb's situation now. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances? I can't help you there, I'm afraid. Oh, no, I can't help you... Curse my voice, my poor vocal talents. I can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be relevant or not. Yet he did say that. I just knew you were going to say that. Now, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories, those relevant to the case and those not. That makes no sense to me. I mean, yeah, you either have things that are relevant or things that are not relevant. It's not that complicated, pal. Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. Sorry? Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Oh no, is it that time already? If we were to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to. So that's it. No more time to think. Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now? I must prepare supper for Mr. Garradeb. Oh yes, I'm so sorry. Thank you both very much for your time. Soseki-san will be waiting for us, and I'm going to have to give him an answer. Yeah, we might as well. Back to prison we go. Hey, it's not prison. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison. Yes, I know. Let's hail a cab. Oh. What's the matter? It looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garradeb's house. What? Oh, hi there. I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Who you call an old man? You rum-looking nimity. I sound like that sometimes. I didn't even touch the microphone. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. That's Shakespeare. I believe that's Hamlet. Is that Hamlet? Who's this Horatio fella, eh? What are you on about? Excuse me? What the? Who are you now? I'm sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see. A lawyer? What? If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law. Tisk! Yeah, fine. I'll be on my way for today. But you mark my words. This ain't over yet, pal. Get thee to a nunnery! Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you? Huh. I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you. What was that all about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here? In the Garridip residence? Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode. Mr. Garridip mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy a polemist in my battle of words never could there be. Sorry, battle, did you say? Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night. Okay. I see. I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. So, fair maiden, so, good gentleman, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room. It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Soseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Garridip house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage. Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return. Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. Okay, well that was a thing that happened. Howdy. How's it going? Oh, it's you! You're here! You came! Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire! I can't believe you came back! I'm so touched! We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh, no! Think nothing of it! Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing Nipponese. Oh, now, let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand... Oh. Hey, Sholmes, I guess you're here now. It is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates a fact. Such is my belief, at least. It's you! The miserable, rotten spy! Hairlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything per se. Save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home, to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodation here opposite the window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is the superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight. It cost me not a penny. Ah! You! How dare you, Hairlock Sholmes! I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings, no doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned! Man, Cesaro's looking at me like, what are you gonna do about this guy, Mr. Naruhodo? What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. But the man's lodgings, and indeed, for tomorrow's trial. Well, what's that supposed to mean? Well, let's, I don't know, let's try and talk with him a little bit. Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no. Why? Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. That's really agitated him. You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor? The Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no! What do you mean? Please, tell me. Summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. Oh my goodness! Can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly! Jesus. Okay. Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. Yeah, honestly, he ain't that bad. I fought way tougher dudes in my day. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Mr. McGilded. Maybe we shouldn't have told him that. I feel like that would that's just gonna make his anxiety worse. What? Ah, I'm impressed, Mrs. Otto. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes? Surely it can't be that, having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zykes killed the man himself. Oh hey, at least they're broaching the possibility, because I was kind of wondering myself. Oh no, he couldn't have. Surely. You have some wonderful notions. Oh, is that Brock's theme? Sorry. The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Why, of course he is. Ah, of course he is. Then why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. Hypothesis? What on earth do you mean by that? Let's see what we got to say about the Reaper. Van Zykes is a quite exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. Huh. Dude, how do you know so much about Van Zykes anyway? That's good. Soseki sounds like he's going to cry tears of joy. Yeah, don't worry about it, man. We got your back. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Yeah, that's good, that's true. Right. Criminals, and corrupt lawyers for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal. Contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and, so on. By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But it means a wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly is from time to time, my dear madam. It is simply the reality of the situation. And that's alright? Hey man, it happens. However, those indicted by Lord Van Zykes cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. Though the agitation may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It is most striking. Disappear? But how? by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage, perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown, perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no! Dude, I feel like we're just making this man's life worse. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. I mean, is that really a curse from Van Zykes? Like, people, if it's months, like, people die. Like, if someone happens to walk free from a trial and then, like, 6 months later they die of a fever or whatever, I don't think that's really a curse exactly. That's just, it's circumstantial evidence at best. I knew it. I'm a dead dodo, done for, doomed! Yeah, it's not exactly good for his self-esteem. Or his, anxiety issues. When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Garrideb's house, I assume. Do you mean to say that you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room. But even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times. Most recently to that room on Prior Road, a week ago now. Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. It's cheap. I have so little money. It appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops! He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late. So I told him, "If you have something to say, say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place." Yes, well said. But it was true. It was all true. You mean, the room really is cursed then? Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really no one at all? To believe. Yes, to believe. Come on, man. We gotta stick up for him. Like, come on. We can't not stick up for this guy. Look at him. Mr. Sholmes. Me, Mr. Naruhodo. Bray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Bureau, if you recall. The Bureau. The Bureau. That case. The one with the snake. No, it was not a fucking snake. Jesus. Well, yes, there was a snake present, I suppose. At that time, I was a suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story after first saying that I was the culprit and getting me arrested in the first place, and you helped us to investigate. I did I? Interesting. What I want to know is, why? Why did you believe me? I see, yes. You mean, because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room. Well, if you like, yes. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said, I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. He must have suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you are telling me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in. What? What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned. I mean, isn't that how most people work? You have things you believe in and things you don't believe in? But I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment. Nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion. Meaning, whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right. He's right, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Whether or not I can believe myself. Huh. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. Oh, he's doing the cute eyes again. You were so right, Mr. Kazuma. Or Kazuma, not Mr. Kazuma. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? I mean, I feel like he can. Oh, dear. There is never enough time, is there? Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Yeah, man, let's do it. Yeah, man, come on. Yeah. Oh, hey, the music's popping in again. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. As I said, I only experienced the British courtroom for the first time yesterday, and although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in? The defendant? Justice or the truth? How to believe, even? But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Yeah, I suppose. Mrs. Otto. Yes? Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant. Yeah, we're gonna fuck shit up. The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me too. So it's time that I learned to believe in myself. Soseki-san has no one. He's all alone, so it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. Yeah, that's how we do it. Yeah, okay. And look at that, it's almost, I'm literally almost at the end of my recording time, and we ended off on a to be continued. That's pretty cool. But anyway, good stuff. I'll be curious to start the trial though, that's for sure. But until then,